Fox 2 News starts now.
Little girls everywhere are asking for the new DVD, Barbie Princess Charm School. In it, kids learn about formal dancing, tea party etiquette, and proper princess manners. And this morning, Mattel is sponsoring a media tour on children and manners. Manners expert Elise McVeigh joins us live from Los Angeles. Good morning to you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. You know, we don't hear too much about etiquette these days. Kind of seems like those rules have really fallen by the wayside. We live in a less formal society, so I guess I have to start by asking, is all of this even relevant today?
Yes, you know, I just read a survey online that said 70% of Americans feel like we're ruder than we were 20 years ago. So manners is so important, and especially for children. If you can get manners instilled in children when they're young, then they'll obviously be so much more successful when they're older.
Now, what kind of manners, rules of manners are we talking about? I mean, we're talking about pinkies up when you drink tea. You're talking about, what kind of rules are we talking about?
Well, of course, that is very important, but even just everyday manners that everyone encounters. I have a manners school where I've had thousands of kids go through, and I have 3 kids of my own, and just, you know, from respect in their voice for other people to having really good table manners. For example, I always have my kids set the table every night, and one way that they learned how to do it was through a placemat that shows where everything goes. So, you know, from the plate to the utensils to the napkin and the cup. That way they can practice, and now they don't even need it. So if you can have your children learn everyday manners, then it'll really help them in anything that they do.
Do you think that this is something, I mean, you know, it's easy to make kind of fun of these little tiny rules, but do you think that there's a larger, more important message in teaching your children manners about how they deal with the world and other people?
Oh, absolutely. Just, you know, when they're young, for example, what I always tell kids is if you want to get invited on play dates, then you have to have good manners with other parents, because that's something that appeals to them. You know, when they're older, I now have a son who's in 7th grade, and he has to learn how to go to his teachers and say, okay, I need help with this or that. If I wouldn't have taught him how to be respectful towards adults or how to ask for things in a nice way, he could be struggling. And then when they start dating, they want to know how to have good manners. And then, of course, when they have to get a job someday, that's all things that you need to know. If you don't know how to correctly meet someone, so when I teach kids how to meet, I'll say, you know, the 3 good things are firm handshake, have really good eye contact, and have a confident voice. If they don't know that, then how are they going to do on a job interview or when meeting their potential in-laws? So you're talking about the DVD before. What I like about Barbie Princess Charm School is it talks about confidence, it talks about poise. You know, the message is there's a princess in every girl, but princesses, as we know, have to have all of those great qualities that will, you know, if you're going to be a princess or whatever your occupation is someday, you still have to have really good manners.
Well, the one thing I liked that you said was that you're teaching your son manners, because so many of these things seem geared toward girls, so it's nice to gear them toward boys as well. Elise McVeigh, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
And Elise McVeigh is the founder of Mrs. McVeigh's Manners and Elise McVeigh's Life Camps.